As we go into the final leg of the battle with Frieza, he stares down the group, looking at what he's caused. Bulma, Roshi, and Piccolo's death all contributed to this. Goku and Gohan have transformed, and Yamcha, he's unlocked a new form as well. But even with this power, will it be enough against Frieza? We'll be covering all that and more in this part 4 of What If the Z-Fighters Broke Their Limits. Frieza can't believe his eyes. The group is completely reinvigorated. Yamcha, Goku, and Gohan have seen the greatest increase in power, with Goku and Yamcha benefiting from a huge Zenkai, and Gohan benefiting from a rage boost as well. Surprisingly enough, they're all pretty much on equal footing. The three start attacking Frieza in unison, with the rest of the group backing them up. Yamcha charges in with powerful melee attacks, now having even grown claws, but he mixes them in with his normal moves as well. He moves a lot faster than before, a lot more animalistic. It makes it harder for Frieza to keep track of him as he runs around, on top of the fact that Goku and Gohan are fighting him as well. Of course, Gohan's not experienced like Goku, but he's still a pretty good fighter at this point in the story, and he could barely control the power that he has, which doesn't really matter because that means he's using it at 100%. Frieza needs to stop this now. He can't hold back any longer. He decides he's going to bring out his 100% power. He barely has an opportunity to transform, but he's given a brief opening, one that allows him to power up just enough, bulking up considerably, ready to continue this battle, and now they should be on even footing, the three of them versus Frieza. But Frieza's actually being worn out now, especially from those attacks he just took. They could tell. He's becoming desperate. He's acting like he's cornered. He tries fighting back, but now it's a lot tougher. He doesn't have the huge advantage that he did before. He can't be cocky like before, and he did this to himself. He created not one, but 2 Super Saiyans, as well as whatever Yamcha is right now. He didn't even realize these Earthlings could transform, much less a Saiyan transforming beyond a grade 8. He needs to kill them, for good, and he knows just the way to do that. As they fight mid-air, Frieza sticks a hand out, pointing it towards the ground. Quickly he charges a large ball of energy, launching it right towards the surface. As fast as they can, Goku, Gohan, and Yamcha all fly down, trying to push the attack back. Obviously seeing that Frieza is trying to blow up Earth, he adds more power to the attack, continuing to push it forward, laughing as he does so. He'll destroy them and this pesky planet. No one will stand in his way. But he sees only 3 of them defending against the attack, and he doesn't even notice. Krillin's missing, and by the time he notices, it's already too late. He feels a sharp pain in his side. A Kienzan hits him. It doesn't cut clean through, but it does cut partially through. He grabs his side in pain, losing sight of the attack that he was powering and having it flung right back towards him. He stands there, bloodied and beaten, hurt by his own attack. He's fuming with anger, and he turns right towards Krillin, launching at him. Krillin quickly jumps up, and right behind him, Frieza sees Tenshinhan. Frieza sharply maneuvers away trying to get Krillin, but Krillin was just a distraction. Krillin launches a solar flare, blinding Frieza, as he's then spaghettified, stretched out with an ominous green aura around him. As Krillin yells now, Goku wonders what they're doing, but then he sees what's in front of Ten. There's a small container. He's using the Mafuba. Goku tells him to stop. It's gonna kill him, especially with that much power being used. But it's already too late. Ten performs the attack, flinging his hands down as Frieza's thrown into the container. While breathing heavily, he puts a seal on it. He tells them, now, destroy it. He flicks it up into the air. Goku, Gohan, and Yamcha all lock their eyes in it, and simultaneously, they perform a Kamehameha. With Frieza being weakened beforehand, and now weakened even further by being sealed, this is the perfect opportunity. Their attacks collide with the container, completely disintegrating it, killing Frieza inside as well. Ten smiles. He wishes he could have done more to help. And then he falls to the ground. Yamcha rushes over and so does Chaozu. They try to give him energy, trying to revive him in any way they can, but it's already too late. He used up too much energy with this attack. Unlike when he used it before, this required way more power. And after already fighting Frieza, it's not like he was in a great condition to begin with. His energy then slowly fades away, as he's the next to die. Yamcha's aura grows fiercer and flares up. His girlfriend, one of his closest friends, his teacher, and even Piccolo, who he wasn't close with but still another one of his friends, all gone. He yells out, with Goku feeling the same exact way. Yamcha's power increases even further, as then he passes out, going back into his base form, falling to the ground alongside Ten. Goku calms himself, trying to power down as he goes into his base again, and Gohan's clearly still in rage. He's having trouble doing so. He and Goku fly over to Chi-Chi, and they have to try to console Gohan. Goku holds his family close as he looks over at the rest of the group, beaten and bloodied, missing a few people, and his eyes then connect with Vegeta's. Vegeta can't believe what he just saw. Everything about it. It's unfathomable. Goku tells everyone, Roshi died twice. He can't be brought back. And he also just realized too, now that he's calmed down, he's been thinking through this, and the Dragon Balls are gone too, since Piccolo died. Which also means Kami is dead as well. They've lost more than they thought, and these losses might be permanent. Tenshinhan, Bulma, Piccolo, Roshi, Kami, they're gone. What are they supposed to do now? And Vegeta's shocked to hear about this. The Dragon Balls? Like those wish orbs that are rumored to exist? Well, they don't anymore. But that's interesting, that they're out there and they could be used to revive people maybe. He doesn't know what else they could do, if anything, but he knows for a fact they can revive people from this. And from the way they're describing it, it sounds like they can only do that. Not that it matters now. Vegeta can't even seek them out anyways. Even if they were still active too, Vegeta would have no chance at getting them. The group now has to figure out what to do next. Because it's not just all that, but also Vegeta's here too, which could be a problem. Remember, Vegeta initially came here to try and kill everybody. He was not here to help. We go over to Otherworld. Piccolo returns to King Kai, a little bit saddened to be here under these conditions. But also, he's a bit shocked to be in Otherworld too. King Kai tells Piccolo he's turned over a new leaf, of course he'd be considered good now. And look at how he died too. He died actually helping defend Earth. And King Kai said he put in a good word for Piccolo. Well, Piccolo thanks King Kai. He's not sure how long he'll be here, and it might be permanent if anything. Once again, he's alone, separated from everyone. He's angered that his training wasn't enough. But King Kai tells him to consider his growth, how much he's grown in strength. And he did put up a really good fight against Frieza too. All that matters is that Earth is safe now, and Piccolo did contribute to that. King Kai then makes a confused face. Oh, looks like he's getting some other visitors too. And Piccolo's confused. Wait, who else died? King Kai fills Piccolo in. Piccolo knows that Kami would have died as well. But he hears that Bulma, Ten, and Roshi died too, with Ten and Roshi then appearing on the planet as well. Even Roshi's surprised to see Ten because he died beforehand. And Ten explains what happened. Roshi tells Ten that the Mufuba was a dangerous technique, and even with his strength, it's no wonder that using on Frieza was that draining. And Ten knew the risk. He's used it before and it took so much out of him, especially with how much of his power he had to put into it this time. And he knows what it did to Roshi before as well. Well, Roshi's glad that he at least knew the risk, and he's proud of Ten for that sacrifice. Soon enough too, Kami shows up on the planet. Not to train of course, but to see everybody. Piccolo and Kami already realized this, but the other two are now just realizing they're not going to be coming back. They're dead for good, aren't they? Well, Roshi says even if the Dragon Balls were there, he can't be revived again. He kinda knew that the second he got here. Well, it's probably not too bad being in Otherworld. At least they made it here after all, not hell, so if they gotta spend eternity here, well, whatever, they're just gonna have to deal with it. But King Kai says that doesn't necessarily need to be the case. He tells Piccolo and Kami they do know about their history, right? Well, it's spotty. And they heard Frieza and Vegeta mentioning something about them being Namekians or whatever, so that's really the extent of their knowledge. King Kai says that if they do want to come back to life, maybe there is a way. Maybe some other Namekians might be able to help. There definitely are more Dragon Balls out there. Wait, what? There's other Dragon Balls out there? Yeah, of course, and King Kai would be glad to help them find them. Well, not them, but the Earthlings, the ones that are still alive. In other circumstances, he wouldn't really want to get involved, but here, because they did defeat Frieza, who is such a plague in the universe, he says he could help them with a favor. King Kai gets in contact with the Earthlings. They hear this weird voice in their heads, but they have no clue who it is, and he introduces himself to those who don't know him. And surprisingly enough, they all hear other voices. Piccolo, Ten, Roshi, even Kami. They're all there on this planet too. Bulma's in Otherworld, but not on this planet. Although King Kai says he's sure she's doing fine as well. He tells them not only are their friends okay, but they can come back. There's another set of Dragon Balls out there. Well, most likely. On Namek. There's a wish-granting dragon there as well. And it's no guarantee, but he could point them in the right direction. There is a little bit of an issue though. Normally they'd have someone like Bulma make them a ship, but she's of course not around. But with Dr. Brief's help, that could actually work. Plus, there are still some Frieza ships scattered around. He could probably modify those and get them to travel to Namek. Even better, he decides to install a gravity chamber on one of them. Thanks to this help from King Kai, they're pointed in the right direction and end up going to Namek. But it's not going to be too quick of a journey, and it's going to take a little bit. Thankfully, they can spend some time training on the way there. Not that they're really training for anything, but it's just a good way to kill time. Back on King Kai's planet, Ten's feeling a little bit left behind. He watches on. Roshi tries to learn Kaioken for himself, even though it doesn't really suit him like Piccolo. Ten does train here with King Kai, but outside of learning Kaioken, it seems like it'll be too tough to try. For Roshi, he handles it surprisingly well. Due to his mastery of Ki and his mastery of martial arts, he's able to maintain a nice balance with it. He doesn't overdo it, and aims to improve this. He can think of a few ways to get this to grow even further, and Ten wonders where he can go next. He saw Yamcha's new form, and he sees that Roshi's doing this awesome technique right here. And it gets Ten thinking, maybe he doesn't need to learn that technique. Yeah, Kaioken's cool and all, but he doesn't necessarily need it. Hell, he doesn't even really need that full power form that Roshi and Krillin have. He starts focusing on something else. Instead of spending time trying to learn Kaioken, he's racking his brain, trying to think of all the ways he can grow. It's not going to be a quick process, but he starts going in the right direction, now with this newfound motivation. And also, there's stuff beyond King Kai. He can go around Otherworld, learning techniques from all these other great warriors up here. Learn all these insane abilities from millions and millions of years of warriors. He sees a lot of opportunity up here. Eventually, the group does arrive on Namek. And thankfully this time, it's very peaceful. It's not like the Frieza Force is going to be there, most of them are gone anyways. The group gets into contact with some Namekians, and the Namekians are quickly able to tell. This group isn't here with any threats. Well, maybe Vegeta is. He was dragged along just so everyone can keep an eye on him. And also, he wanted to see how these revival wishes work. He doesn't know if they could do anything else, but still, if they could revive people, there's potential there for him to use them somehow. The Namekians help point the group into the right place, seeing what they're trying to do. They're led to Grand Elder Guru, and he decides, yeah, they're worthy for the Dragon Balls. He asks Goku to step up, reading his mind, seeing what just went down. And he sees everything they went through, and what they prevented. They stopped Frieza. And Guru says there's no question about it. They should be granted the Dragon Balls. They are making a pretty noble wish after all, reviving their friends. And these wishes are going to be used to save Earth too, because once Piccolo's back, they'll have the Earth Dragon Balls there as well. The Dragon Balls are all gathered, and they summon Porunga, giving him 3 wishes. First, revive Piccolo. Then, revive Roshi. He can't be revived by Earth Dragon Balls anyway, so that needs to be done here. And for the third one, they decide to revive Bulma. And Ten actually tells them he wants to be revived last. He wants to spend a little bit more time up here, so the other 3, they can go before him. He'll come back from Shenron once they're back on Earth. And Kami's intrigued to see how this dragon works, wondering if he should update Earth's Dragon Balls as well. The group thanks the Namekians, and they're glad to help, especially after what the group did, and the fact that they're reviving one of their own, they don't mind. But just as the group's about to leave, a ship starts approaching Namek. They can sense a pretty strong power on it. Great, what's left of the Frieza Force? And Vegeta can immediately tell. He completely forgot. King Cold is still out there. King Cold? Who the hell is that? Well, it's Frieza's father. And it seems he probably knew where to find their ship. I mean, they are using a modified Frieza ship after all. Maybe he was able to track it some way like that, or maybe he was following them this whole time. Vegeta doesn't know. Alright, well, Goku asks Vegeta, how strong is King Cold? Vegeta has no clue. Well, either way, they'll be able to solve this. King Cold lands on the planet, and they decide they're going to take a no-nonsense approach to this. King Cold steps off the ship, greeting everybody. There's a few Frieza Force soldiers with him. It seems most of the army's gone, and he tells them, somebody's going to need to fix this. His son is gone, most of his army's gone, and he wanted to find who's responsible. It seems they were led here, and from space they saw some sort of dragon or something. And King Cold wants to know, what's going on here? He'll find that out and then just slaughter everyone responsible. But no one even responds to him. Goku and Gohan immediately power up, surrounded by a golden aura going into Super Saiyan, with King Cold being taken aback, even stumbling backwards. Super Saiyans? Alongside them, Yamcha powers up into his alpha form, howling just like a wolf as he transforms. The 3 of them all attack him in unison, with the Namekians watching on amazed. And before King Cold can even do anything, he's immediately defeated, with Goku, Gohan, and Yamcha all powering down, apologizing to the Namekians. They didn't realize that they would lead somebody else here like that. Well, the Namekians say that's probably better that way then. Nobody even thought to eliminate King Cold, but now he's gone and they don't have to worry about him, I guess. Vegeta just stands there with his jaw hitting the ground. That easily they defeated King Cold. He knew they defeated Frieza already, but this is just something else. They're already starting to learn how to use these forms and growing more powerful in them. It's amazing. The group all thanks the Namekians once again, as everyone goes back to Earth. And as Ten waits to be revived, he stays in Otherworld a bit longer. He's not even with King Kai at the moment. He's going around, meeting other warriors around here, trying to learn any unique techniques from them or whatever, training with all these great people, getting knowledge from them. He sees all these alien warrior races. He sees powerful Earthlings from the past, even some of his ancestors too. There's so much knowledge that could be gained here, so much of it that was lost to time, and now he can go right to the sources themselves. His mind is absolutely blown by this, and he's glad he didn't spend his time learning Kaioken. Yeah, the technique seems cool and all, but look at what he's doing here, all this knowledge he's gaining. And he tries to piece everything together, thinking about how he can grow, what he could do. The group eventually arrives back to Earth, but just as they do, they receive a message from King Kai. He says to wait to revive Ten. They don't really need to revive him immediately, and this is his request, not King Kai's. Well, if he wants to wait, that's fine with them, I guess. King Kai says he's having a lot of fun here. Ten's been training and learning non-stop, and he wonders what he's up to. Well, at least they have all their friends back, and Ten will come back soon enough. Even though all seem lost against Frieza, they're able to recuperate. But what lies ahead for everybody? Well, we'll be exploring that next time because this is where we leave off for now. What do you guys think about this part? What do you think's going to happen next going forward? There's a lot of potentially interesting plot points that I set up, and I want to see what you guys noticed. Let me know your thoughts below. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.